he's gone now, Willie. Good ball.
Shankly's training methods were paying dividends. The small-sided games he introduced were the foundation of Liverpool's playing pattern for years ahead. Pass and move, pass and move. He was fanatical about fitness, impatient with injured players, single-minded in his love for the game. There was no hiding place for the Liverpool players in Shankly's sweatbox.
And this is what we call the sweatbox. And there's many functions we perform in here. But defenders and forwards alike play this. I mean, the player got the ball against the board from an angle. At the moment, Bob Paisley has him stopping it and then kicking. But although it looks simple, you can take it from me that this is hard work. And if you can go through this routine for 2 minutes, you're not far off being fit. Well, physically, they are very strong. I mean, we haven't got a weakling in the team as far as physique is concerned. But I don't think that they take any advantage of that. I mean, some of them play hard, yes. But I can tell you here and now that there never was a great athlete that wasn't physically strong.
He liked training. This was the beauty of it. He liked training. And his enthusiasm rubbed off on everybody else, or most of all. Those that didn't rub off on, away they went.
The 60s team had broken new ground. Now, Shankly brought in new faces.
Emlyn Hughes is debatable if he's a better player in the game. Oh, he's got everything. Ability, guts, he's quick, good in the air. You name it, he has it.
Shankly could read men. He knew how to keep their feet on the ground and how to motivate and inspire them. His methods were unique and often startling.
Ian Callaghan used to tell me about the team talks around the Subbuteo table.
Well, on Saturday, there's a fifth round of the FA Cup, just about as intriguing as you could wish for.
2 years later, with Everton now the cup holders and Liverpool the league champions, the Merseyside Giants were drawn together in the fifth round. It was like a world title fight, with Everton training in secret at Belfield and Liverpool barely a mile away at their Melwood training ground. The two managers were titans of their time, the highly quotable Shankly at Liverpool and the more taciturn Harry Catterick at Everton. There was no way Shankly was going to underestimate the occasion.
It's a thing that may never happen again in the history of the game. Two teams meeting, one who's champions of England and one who are the cup holders. And a city as fanatical as Liverpool.
Hughes for Liverpool and this one. Lane. The tech comes again. It's there!
You had to pay a lot of money for Emlyn Hughes, and you had to wait a long time for him, didn't you?
Well, we did pay money for him. At that time, 18 years of age, we paid a good fee for him. But it cost 5 times that, it would have been worth it.
And you went to see him play his first game for Blackpool, didn't you?
I did, yes. They brought him in at Blackburn Rovers ground one night for his first match. And I offered them money for him after the match. Emlyn Hughes is debatable if he's a better player in the game. Oh, he's got everything.
The new-look Liverpool were into an FA Cup final only a year later. Ray Clements was now in goal. Larry Lloyd at centre-half. John Toshak had arrived up front. Steve Highway and fellow graduate Brian Hall...
I remember him coming up on the Thursday and saying, do you want to play in the first team? I said, I haven't come here to play in your reserves.
And he opened up against Nottingham Forest, he won the game, he scored a goal, made a goal. It was a bit of a fluke the one he scored, but he scored it nevertheless. I remember Emlyn Hughes, I saw him playing his first game for Blackpool, incidentally. It was at Blackburn, at the end of the season, and it was his first outing at left back, and Sunday says he's about 18. And I said, good God. So I tried to sign him after the match. That was after he'd played one game. I offered him a fee for him. And it took me 2 years before I got him.
In 1970, Ray Clements arrived.
Ray Clements, who's the best goalkeeper in the world. There isn't any doubt about that. Oh, the most difficult decision ever I made to leave, to decide to leave the club. Eventually, I mean. Possibly it was like going to the electric chair. That's the feeling I had.
Bill's game was all about passion. Bob was all about patience.
For his part, Keegan said the following season would be his last at Anfield before going abroad. Now a hardened Liverpool squad was poised for another assault on the European Cup. The conversion of Ray Kennedy into a left-sided midfield player was proving an inspirational move, showing that if Shankly's powers of motivation couldn't quite be replaced, his successor had a canny tactical wisdom all of his own. Paisley's team were not going to lose their grip on the championship.
The faces at Liverpool changed, but the system remained the same. It wasn't always easy to adapt. Most clubs still relied on the long ball game. Not here.
All of a sudden Ray Kennedy came short, Graham Souness came short, and I'd go wallop and hit it 50 yards away, and they'd go, uh-oh. They got to me in a way, I said, listen Alan, Liverpool's play is to play possession.
In '81, Liverpool also reached the European Cup final, a glamorous final against Real Madrid in Paris.
The Manager of the Year award could only go to one man, but Bob stunned everyone that summer, announcing his plan to retire at the end of the following season.
So much speculation, and that only gets back to the players. The game's not about managers, really. It's about players, and I just wanted to get it off the backs, tell them that, and then now they'll not be able to put it in the papers, and we'll just get on with the job, because that's what I intend to do.
How did Dalgleish cope with the extra responsibility?
Everybody's got responsibilities in whatever job they have, and none more so than what I had then. I didn't particularly notice any extra responsibility to what I had as a player, although obviously there must have been there. But you just get on with the job in hand and try and do it to the best of your ability. And fortunately the first season it worked out tremendously well for us. It was a dream come true for everyone, and it was far more than anyone ever expected. But we gave it a go, and we were successful. And although we won the Cup and the League, people tend to forget we're a little bit unlucky to get the semi-final in the Littlewoods Cup as well. I think the biggest thing they've got is that everyone who's involved with the club and everyone who works for the club are good at their job throughout the entire club. And if you get people like that, you must have a chance of success.
To help him share the load, Liverpool had paid £750,000 for John Aldridge. And soon, a further £900,000 went on John Barnes from Watford.
Kenny also brought Phil Thompson and Ron Yates back to the club.
Where he's been absolutely first rate is in helping us to attract outstanding young players to Liverpool. Anybody can spot the Zidanes when they're 27, you know, that's not difficult. You know, the skill is trying to identify them when they're 18 and 19.
To sit next to him and that phone's ringing time and time again, and some of the people who he's on the phone to, it just shocks you. I blush sometimes thinking, God, is that who it is?